guys? I forgot my drink. Okay, live from my, I'm not going to show you the rest of this, but live from my room. We have recently moved all my stuff from my old studio into storage, so now I have, well, this wasn't really necessary, obviously, because like I said, I have a storage unit just 5 seconds ago, but I, being a very paranoid person, decided to bring like the more expensive pieces to my house. So I have a bunch of clothes in here. Anyways, so getting back to, I guess, the topic that I've been discussing that I'm going to talk about, or I guess I've been putting random teasing posts on my story saying that I'm going to talk about this, so I guess I just was like, you know what, do it, just do it. I've been debating doing videos for a minute because like I'm just very, I don't know, I don't like the way I sound sometimes when I talk to people, and then I hear it back and I'm like, oh my god, why did I say that like that? Whatever. So I thought, you know what, it's about time I just say, screw it, I'm going to start putting out more vlogs, videos, things like that. I don't know, I clap my hands so many times when I'm talking. That's the Italian in me. Anyways, I'm going to be putting more videos. This is me swearing on it right now. Between me and you, I'm going to be putting more videos, hopefully on not just Instagram, but TikTok, as well as uploading them to YouTube with my channel where I also post my music. And I guess that's kind of like part of like the reason why I started talking about this on my stories and things like that, and why I decided to initially change my bio a bit and decide, you know what, I don't think I should be publicly saying like, oh, I'm a wardrobe stylist first and foremost, because at the end of the day, I don't like calling myself that anymore. I'm just gonna say I don't like calling myself just a wardrobe stylist anymore. It's just not my thing. So why? The reason why, I guess, started with, you know, I've been doing styling, you know, probably at least 5-6 years. I started like doing makeup and modeling and just doing like whatever I could to get my hands on the idea of like production. And I decided, you know what, I think I really like just the idea of, you know, putting my own style into the production. You know, I love clothes, I love fashion, I love music, obviously, and that influenced the reason why I got into fashion first and foremost. So I was like, okay, you know what, I think I want to try styling out. So I started wardrobe styling, and, you know, shout out to all the people that had, you know, really, you know, trusted my work when I first started, because I really didn't know what the heck I was doing, like, at all. I just would start going to thrift stores and, you know, picking things up, because I really did not have the resources or the ideas, you know, of how to acquire clothing. And, you know, I just literally had like $50 cash in my pocket, and someone would be like, you know, you want to test or something like that, and I'd be like, sure. And I kind of would just push that money I had put aside and maximized it as much as possible at a thrift store. And I guess that's how I got started, where like I've always loved thrifting, I've always loved vintage clothing, I've always loved sourcing and like digging through piles of things. I actually, for some reason, have the patience for that, even though I'm a very impatient person. I just love going through clothes for hours. So I guess over the past 3 years, you know, I got divorced. I started realizing just a lot of big changes for myself, I guess, because I started doing this at a really young age, you know, and your taste just changed, I think, over like every 6 or 7 years. That's what it says online. And I started kind of just having this like epiphany, or what do you call it, like crisis, in the sense where I was like, what do I want for myself? What do I like? What do I not like? What actually makes me happy? Because I started to realize that we're just so many situations personally, like as a stylist, wardrobe stylist, that I was, you know, dealing with, and I started to realize that it not was necessarily the thing I wanted for myself. And I'm not gonna get too deep into it, because it's just like, it just sounds like a bunch of ranting drama, honestly. But I just came to realize that I was becoming very unhappy only calling myself a wardrobe stylist. I really wanted to become more part of the process and not just see myself as someone that was just there to dress people, essentially. Also, the process, I feel like, and I will get into it slightly, like the process of, you know, going through client to client, job to job, getting your money back after a job, just trying to make people happy even for a specific type of budget, which isn't necessarily going to cover everything. All these different instances, you know, aside from really just uncomfortable, even unprofessional experiences that I've been through, really made me realize like it just was not making me happy. Like I was like, I am so unhappy all the time. You know, this is not what I wanted out of, you know, loving clothes. This, you know, when I was 16, this is not what I envisioned for myself. That being said, I decided that I was really going to start taking full force of the actual direction process, which is what the part that actually did start making me happy. And I decided, you know, I'm just going to completely be myself and put what I like out there and create concepts that you know make me happy, that inspire me. And if people like it, people fuck with it, then great. You know, if you don't, that's, I guess, whatever, unfollow me. You know, there's like been instances and like this is gonna sound like it really sucks, but like I've had so many problems with getting paid on time, where I just didn't really enjoy that part anymore. And so directing for me honestly is something that I feel like it just came way more naturally. It makes me happy to, I guess, know that I've built a team that all is supportive of the same concept and vision when I put it together. And for me, that kind of led to starting, you know, a secondary passion, which was like a magazine. Um, and I never really thought I'd get into like magazines in that sense, or like journalism for that, for example. But I really liked the idea of, you know, creative work in magazines and the idea of just flipping through. You know, I've always just enjoyed the editorial part of magazines personally. I'm a picture kid. Like I would buy books just for the pictures, you feel me? So for me, you know, cannabis has always helped me, like creatively speaking, emotionally, mentally, physically. And I just really thought I have to like share this somehow with what I'm already doing. You know, I love, you know, creating these concepts that people are always, I would say in some points, even scared to kind of consider. But I felt like, you know, with cannabis, it was just such a explorative thing for me to do creatively. And I was just super excited my first couple shoots, because I felt like everything I ever wanted to do was all together in one place on one set. And just generally speaking, the vibes are just the best every time I do a shoot now for my magazine. I'm like super grateful for that. And I think it's just because I have great people around me now to support it. But yeah, so going back to why I guess I stopped calling myself a wardrobe stylist, you know, I started this magazine and I really just started to realize that I am really just so wholeheartedly like invested in creating these concepts and pushing these concepts and coming up with new ideas and just innovating the way people look at weed, and making even more awesome pictures for picture books, you know. So I wanted to, you know, push my own magazine in that sense as far as possible. And the fact that it's all local businesses is something that for me is really, you know, authentic about it. And it helps me feel like I'm supporting all the people that have helped me come this far. I don't want to invest my time in things that make me unhappy. I really realized that, you know. And I think once I decided, you know, I'm only going to do what makes me happy, but also I'm also going to do the things that make me money. And, you know, for me, yeah, money also makes me happy. Some people say, oh, you know, do what you love and don't worry about the money. But for me, I like money. I love money. And I'm just being honest. I have a family, you know, I have so many things to worry about financially all the time that money is something that I really didn't want to worry about anymore waiting on as a stylist. So that's why I got into selling the clothes that I was collecting, and I got put more and more time. So anyways, I would put more and more time into just researching and looking into like different ways of sourcing clothes for like whatever prices I could afford, and started reselling them. And now I've been doing it for about a year, and it's something that I think has just made me feel just so much more satisfied with life, because it's truly an instantly gratifying thing to have money immediately in your pocket and not worrying about if you're gonna get it, especially after already doing the job or selling the item. You know, the money is already there. Finally, I guess I'll just say that you know, I love styling. I do. I'm not gonna say I don't love wardrobe styling. I still provide it as a service all the time. I just decided I'd be more specific about how I do it. I want people to know when I do my work that it's my work. I don't want to just be looked at as someone that just dresses people. And for me, whenever I do a shoot now, it's like I really put my time into how can I make this genuinely and just so completely me, so that way when people see it, they automatically think, oh, this has to be Crisp's work. And when people even say, oh, this looks like something that, you know, you did, or they see something and they automatically think it's mine, it really makes me happy, because I just feel like I'm coming into my own space now where I can identify as my own, and I want to be my own person. I don't want to be like anybody else. And that's I guess that goes the same for my music. You know, like I got into music about 8 months ago. 8 months ago? Yeah. And I love styling myself now. I'm gonna be totally totally upfront and conceited about that. I guess I love styling myself so much again, and I felt like when I was just wardrobe styling, I didn't have time to make myself feel good. And I have some of the best hair, you know, makeup artists. Shout out to Silvana, you know, for making me feel like I can really just be this figure in the music industry in Miami now that is going to be completely her own entity and doing her own complete thing with music that hopefully, you know, is different, and people can enjoy that for me as well. So yeah, I just want to be me. I don't want to be just a wardrobe stylist. Don't want to be just anything. I love to direct. Like I said, I love to sing. I love to, style. I love to sell clothes. But as far as who I am, I guess you could say I'm Crisp.